Hello, beautiful and brave soul. I hope you're ready to be liberated because I was hearing the song all morning, Kanye West. I have the lyrics, so just let me get there. But the card here says you are ready to be liberated. You are ready to jump into your role as your own savior. You're not trying to listen to people anymore or to get information from out there. These teachers, me, these gurus, everyone who thinks they know it all. Anything that's coming from the outside is becoming very, very loud. And your inner voice is becoming very, very quiet. And you're like, look, I am so sick and tired of feeling like a victim, of feeling like the circumstances around me are going to just keep pushing me out. No, they're not pushing you out. They're pushing you in, and it's making you feel small and making you feel insignificant, which is okay because you actually don't mind hiding. But the problem is they're not allowing you to hide. You don't have a safe place. You don't have a tranquil place to go to. So I'm just going to read these 3 lines here. That she wrote, speech to the young, speech to the progress toward. Say to them, say to the down keepers, the sun slappers, the self-soilers, the harmony hushers, even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. I literally heard that in my head 100 times this morning. And I was just, and then the other lyric, we're going to praise our way out the grave. The reason this is coming up is because you're trying to liberate yourself. Look at this card. So I just have some background cards pulled out here to kind of see what the energies, what's going on. And you have this 8 of Swords, which is like, man, you just feel so much mental attack from all angles. You're even attacking yourself. So, and we have outside teacher. It's like all the teachers, everyone knows everything outside of me. Why is it that all the knowledge is out there? So it's like you're seeking wisdom externally when really all you can obtain outside of yourself is knowledge, but you're trying to obtain wisdom because the wisdom is what's going to liberate you. And I have here with the victim card in reverse at the bottom here, playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. It's somebody that's really struggling. So it's like your energy is saying, I am a victim, first and foremost, but I'm really tired of playing that character. I'm really ready to be somebody who can shine the light for others and myself. Firstly, myself. So I have here also labels are the opposite of understanding. So there's no real need to try to label yourself, whether that's mental health or spiritual, religious, man, woman, God, soul, spirit, all these labels, right? Teacher, mother, father. I mean, there's so many labels we put on ourselves and it just keeps shrinking us smaller and smaller. So I have here, these labels are part of what's holding you back. You have these labels like victim, teacher, liberator. These are all labels. These are all characters to play. You choose to be a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher. You choose to liberate yourself. You become a liberator. And I'm just getting that you're ready. You're ready. I'm gonna move this actually. I will keep hitting that chime as much as it's needed to kind of clear the air and kind of keep this going in a calm direction because that's what we need right now. We need to tap into calm energy. Calm energy. So just breathe and relax and just relax. We're going to calm down. We're going to be safe. We're going to be free. I'm looking at the sun here. The sun slappers, you know. Why are they trying to dim your light? Why is it that, you know, what happened to your imagination? The illumination of your soul. What happened to it? Is it gone? You know, where did it go? And then this teacher here, she's got a globe in her hand split in half with all these little fragments. It's like you're fragmented. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to land, where to be. You don't even know if you feel like you're on Earth anymore. You just want to kind of sit and be still in water, around water. The wizard is the bad guy, is how we're going to start this reading, start this section. So, okay, now we have the Pleiadians here. So this is interesting. This is quite interesting. So I have the wizard as the bad guy, which is from Wicked. And then I have the Pleiadians created an atom in their image to get the reptilians to stop eating them. So interesting. So I want you, we're playing in the imagination here. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no labels. We're not going to identify or, you know, we don't need to do none of that. Don't check any boxes. We're just exploring the mind here. We're very open, very free. This is a very free time, free energy. We're just going to open the heart, stay open, stay intrigued, stay positive here. I'm seeing this as if, let's say you're a Pleiadian, right? And you're being attacked by a reptilian. It's interesting. You would create something as a distraction, something equal, something equal to you, outside of you, to get them to stop eating you. The beholder will always see what they want to see. Roses or shit, evil or good, beauty or trash. Okay. The wizard is the bad guy. The wizard is the bad guy. But he's pretending to be the good guy. So how does that relate to your life? Who's pretending? Who's pretending? What's behind the curtain? Because the Pleiadians, they created an atom. So if this is what you're doing, you're trying to create a distraction in a way. So you're trying to liberate, get out of a situation. Okay, but these swords, the mental energy is struggling. Okay, there was a time when hearing voices wasn't a sign of madness, but a sign of the miraculous. Okay, so here you are, beautiful and bright, discovering yourself, tapping into yourself, and doing things that society would consider you to be mad, like crazy. And you don't know quite what to do with it. You don't know what to do with the information. Do you harbor it? Do you teach it? Do you free yourself? Because I think that's what you really want deep inside, is you want to be free. Maybe there's a bit of a belief with the Eight of Swords here that the teacher is outside. Okay, so how do you step into this role where you can teach yourself? So we have to listen more. There's an internal dialogue going on here where you need to listen to your intuition, because if you listen to the teachers outside, there will be a lot of talk of something's wrong with you, you're psychotic, you're in a psychosis, you're some sort of wicked. There's a lot of labels being put on what you're experiencing. And I think it's between you and God, what you're experiencing. So your soul is trying to be, yeah, isn't that crazy? So I'm seeing how the spiritual world, the actual world, is very, 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 very as complex as this outside world, you know? And as you step into it and become who you're supposed to be, when you come back to the world where we all share, co-create, and collectively see what we see together, we both look out and see a bird. We can both say, yeah, that's a red bird. 5 people all see red bird. But for some reason, the 6th person says, well, there's also a blue bird there. And everyone's like, no, there's not. There's no blue bird. It's just red. And you're like, no, I clearly see a blue bird as well. And you're struggling with that because you're also wanting to be accepted by these people. So you're almost telling yourself, I don't see a blue bird. I just see the red bird like you guys do. See, we got to get out of these labels. It's in your blood. This has been sitting on top. It's in your blood. You were born for this. This is something that, it's a key you've been trying to find. But you've always had it. What'd you do with the key then? What'd you do with the key? Interesting. Okay, we have mother here, and then we have delirious. In a state of wild excitement or ecstasy, an acutely disturbed state of mind resulting from illness or intoxication and characterized by restlessness, illusions, and incoherence of thought and speech. You know, again, with the concept here that you are experiencing otherworldly phenomenon, it's like you're going through a delirious experience. Delirious. I'm thinking of the Prince song, Delirious. It's not hysteria. You're delirious. So are you excited? Okay, you know Rafiki? I'm getting Rafiki for your energy because Rafiki was casted out by his tribe, but he found his home, his place with the lions. It made no sense why a baboon would want to go with lions. Not only that, but like lead them, especially cosmically, intellectually. The baboon had a way of sight and wisdom that the lions would never have perceived, but they respected him. They didn't eat him. Interesting. The Pleiadians, because the reptilians wanted to eat them. See, the lions wanted to eat them. And so did the reptilians. The Pleiadians are the baboons. And that's your blood. That's your exterior. You're showing up. Okay, you're cloaked. Oh my gosh. You're cloaked. You're cloaked in human form. Okay? Okay, and then you get very excited when you discover this truth, when you dig into yourself, into understanding who you are. Interesting. Okay? It's in your blood. Mother. Polyamory. Many. Polyamory. Why is that here? Mother. Polyamory. Delirious. I'm going to get one more on that. Why is that here? Scapegoat. Person blamed for the wrongdoings, faults of others, especially for reason of expediency. Victims, okay. A goat sent into the wilderness after the Jews and the chief priests had symbolically laid the sins of the Jewish people. A goat. Scapegoat. Polyamory. Many. So I'm actually not getting any sexuality with that. I'm getting that there's a species that had to hide in humans. Not even a species, because that's too limiting for what I'm seeing. But something in your blood is actually, it's reactivating for you to liberate yourself from this limiting belief. Why is there an attack? Okay. This is very, very interesting. This is just the underlying energy, guys. So if you want a real good rounded image here, let's get through the message. Because that's deep. You're something else. And if you are expansive enough, I think you're going to be able to understand what is going on here. Very, very intriguing energy. Okay. I love how that just flew out there. I just want to look at these. I actually don't want to lay them down. Interesting. These are both cards of movement, but they're in reverse. You're not able to go towards this energy. Beholders will always see what they want to see. Something's trying to pull you away from... Oh, it's like 2 and 2. It's so intriguing. Okay, they literally came out again. Okay, so they wanted to be out. And they came out the other way this time. They're both still in reverse, but they're flipped. So, interesting. They were like this. Okay. And now they flipped. So, let's see. Not moving. Is there force? There's intentional energy, because we're going to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. There's energy trying to restrict you from going deeper into your history, her story, bloodline. Because if you go towards it, what is this? Wow, the Emperor with the 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is also in reverse. Okay, there's something trying to create a fear in you and create stagnation. Yeah, something wants you to look at your situation and say, I accept it as it is. I'm not going to go any deeper into myself. I'm not going to... Okay, this is very important for you to know that whatever you're trying to find, I can only help you remember something here because it's inside, okay? Go through your heart chakra. I'm seeing a scene from a movie, Contact. This woman, she went through wormholes in outer space for 18 hours. She was gone from Earth and went and communicated with like aliens, some sort of outside entity that gave her no proof, even though science spent trillions of dollars to send her there, came back with no proof, and they all tried to blame her for being crazy instead of acknowledging she experienced it, because in their perception nothing happened. They didn't see her travel. They built this big machine. She didn't go anywhere. Prove to me you wouldn't talk to aliens. And you can't. You can't prove it. There's nothing to prove here. It's the trust. You're liberating yourself into the night. We're going to praise our way out the grave. Yes. Because you got to like sing and dance and liberate. It's like move out of the energy that wants to hold you back. That's your power. It seems insane. It makes no sense. There's no logic here. We don't need logic. We're just going to be on a walk here and look at the grass, and suddenly your spirit says, do a tumble. You know, like a roll, like tumble. Because if you were 2 or 3, you'd do it. You wouldn't even question it. You would just do it. And then someone stopped you and said, what are you doing that for? You're going to get dirty. You're getting grass all over your nice outfit. And you're like, it was just fun to tumble. I just enjoyed tumbling. I don't know. Why are you stopping me from tumbling? Am I affecting you? Is it bothering you? What's going on here? These outside forces are affecting your ability to ground yourself in what seems like chaos. Yeah, King of Swords in reverse on the bottom there. It really wanted to exaggerate the forcefulness, the authority that has been over your life, trying to... It's like, okay, you're showing up in life as a student, which is how you should always show up. That's how Rafiki would show up until his dying day. But for some reason, these teacher-like characters outside of you feel like they have it all figured out. And since you're not doing it their way, they're pressing and pushing. How dare you step into your own light? You're supposed to be a victim, because when you're not a victim, I have nothing to blame. I can't scapegoat you. Wow, King of Wands next to the Emperor. Because we sort of had an evolution here where we went from a lot of like hallucination, illusion, mental health scares, potentially diagnoses. There could be like psychotic disorders, or even questioning if those things are a part of your self. Like, what's wrong with me? Do I need to be diagnosed with something? What's wrong with me? And then here, all this power. This is very powerful. It totally changed energy. It's like you've evolved into something here that says, no, I have creative solutions and understand my position. Understand that the supreme power, which will just, God, God is my authority. That's it. Nothing else is my mother effing authority. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. There's no other being. Any other being, it is not even a being. There's more labels. See, it's expansive. You're deciding how to see. They want to say, this keeps coming out. The movement will just expedite when you figure this out, which you're coming into. When we energy, frequency, and vibration, when we understand that, the universe, it will just unravel and reveal itself to us and play, and it will be so fun. And I'm just kind of getting this vibe that you're going back and forth between the labels of who am I? Am I somebody who's bipolar, needs medication, and needs to stop sharing my ideas? Or maybe I'm feeling a little schizophrenic and I see things that others don't quite see. So when I share that, people get uncomfortable. So maybe I should just tuck my tail and just be small and quiet. But then on the other hand, you want to be liberated. You want to liberate yourself. You want to release these negative patterns and step into this powerful energy. So what's this card? Okay. Okay, there's a fear of being exploited here. Are people going to take your ideas? Are they going to laugh at you? Are they going to turn them down? So maybe you have experienced jumping into some of these ideas and it failing. Some of these ideas have failed, which is the story of any successful person. ideas failing. You're going to have models and versions of your vision that fail. Yeah, Queen of Wands. Wow, in reverse though. Interesting. So you're showing up. So this isn't you here. This is somebody, okay, so this has all been you, and now this new character arrived. Wow, with Justice on the bottom. But you're in the upright, they're in the reverse, same suit, matching partners. So this could be a partner of yours who did not believe in you, but it could also be anybody. It doesn't have to be a partner that you had romance with, although it's the King and Queen of Wands. Now this one's in Leo. Yours is in Aries. So you have the seated ideas, and they represent the ego, especially in reverse. There's some energy that you're dealing with that shoots down your ideas and, It's like anytime you bring, I want to start pulling some of these, whatever these are called. I want to drink a tea. Breathe. If you haven't breathed, do some breathing. Drink some tea. Open your heart here. Believe in yourself. Give yourself credit. Give yourself grace. Give yourself respect. Give yourself love, peace, calm. Your energy started gaining momentum as we you want to get more into the energy of receiving, because I'm feeling your energy is more in taking, which is okay. It just means that you're looking for things out there, but when you wait for things to come to you, that will feel a lot better to your soul, to your spirit. And like I said, you're just kind of like pushing. So I want to pull some tea leaves. I'm going to kind of put one under each card here. Oh my gosh, rooster. I don't know why I did that. Rooster, parrot. Wind chimes, yes. Okay, interesting. So, two very talkative, loud birds. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross, trying to stop your movement. Along with the parrot, gossiping about your secrets. Wind chimes, peace and harmony. Because if you could flip the script, you could recognize that walking away is the peace. Unicorn. It's funny that lands under the Emperor, because it's like stepping into your throne, into your power, into your authority is what aligned you to strategize and to clear the clutter and to root yourself and to ground yourself. Discovering your intuition for these creative changes. Three more. Dog. Under the King of Wands, okay? So, loyalty to yourself. Loyalty to your vision. To your belief in being a leader in your own life. And believing in your imagination. I just see this very beautiful person that does not see themselves. Oh yeah. Oh, that was interesting how that, okay, actually it was like, I don't know. Okay, dagger, be careful. Be careful. Okay. Okay. Unsuccessful plans, and we have January. So I'm thinking there could have been a fight in January. There could have been a very cold and competitive energy that it doesn't have to be January literally. It could just be cold, calculated, rude, mean. Battle of the egos fight. Channeling makes you do all types of weird stuff. But I'm just getting this energy between these two characters here. There's some sort of fight that went down that really left you feeling outside of yourself. Unsuccessful plans. You had something you were putting together and there's now a knot. It's now tangled up. It's now something that you were trying to get off the ground. You could have been trying to make something or build something with someone. It didn't go through. It didn't work out. It didn't take off. You're still very open though. You still have this open energy to work with this person, but this person is showing up as impossible to deal with, basically. So you want, okay, but you're looking this way. They're looking at you in reverse. So they're actually coming, they're looking at you like they want to throw shade, they want to throw stones. They're more focused on what you're doing than what they need to be doing. And you're looking at all that's transpired, so you're processing what has happened. You're realizing where you need to be and how to establish a foundation here. Interesting. So what animals can we use here to help understand? That fell right on January, the peacock. Wow, that fell with the Queen of Wands in January. Keep shining your light. Keep saying, I am onto something here. And if you don't see it, bye. That's up to you. If you don't have the ability to capture what I'm throwing down, that's not on me. That's on you. Yeah, the swan. Look at the mirror. If you can't mirror my energy, and it's not to say one's worse or you're better, because again, we're dropping the labels here. It is very important to accept people as they are and to believe that if people want to change, they will. And with the swans there, it's so beautiful. It's like this person in a way mirrors you. But there's the communication is so off. Both people see very different things, although you look the same. Energetically. Oh, lying on the ground. Cheetah. Is that why it fell on the ground? Because we running? Okay, but it is running that way also, which is so interesting. Everything's going back. Are we trying to go backwards? Are we trying to go back to something here? The swan at the bottom again. Are we trying to go back? I feel like you're trying to go back to something because you left it behind. But the rooster, there's some arrogant, boastful person. One chimes peace and harmony, establishing intuition, peace, harmony, balance. How do we flip this? Wow. Building something stronger. You're trying to build something stronger, but this is the thing. What you've discovered, with the whale at the bottom, it's so deep and intuitive and mystical that it's like that Rafiki. You left and your people want you back. But in a way, it's like, I'll return, but you have to accept me as Rafiki. You can't try to change me to be, to be someone else. See what I'm saying? You gotta let me be this whale. And you're also allowed to be who you are. Whatever mystical energy you bring. Because the butterfly can transform anything. The situation can transform. Is there one more? Oh, there's one more to go. One more. Panther. So that was the panther. Transform. You're trying to transform something. The fish. You want things to go with the flow. You want things to make sense. You don't want to swim upstream. You don't want to fight. You don't want to force. You don't want to cause this pressure. You want to be accepted for who you are. You don't want to feel pressured to have these labels, these... Man, now that I'm seeing polyamory, you may want polyamory. You may want many with the scapegoat. It's interesting that that's there. Is that what you want? I want to pull another card on that again. Wow. This came up in 2 readings ago. 2 lovers trying to survive a chaotic fighting situation. Can 2 walk together, except they be agreed? They must have agreed to meet in a certain place and to travel together until they reach their destination. I asked that about polyamory. So there has to be an agreement. Interesting. So somebody may be questioning their sexuality or how they view relationships structure. They may see it a little bit differently. That could be you, and that could be what this person's so upset about, or vice versa. But that there could be a lot of needing to discuss and get on the same page about these things. I think that's what I'm seeing. Other than because your thoughts, you're like labels, thoughts. There's so many options here. It doesn't have to be so rigid. We can lay a foundation on this. We can build from this. You want a really deep, interwoven connection. And maybe you don't quite want polyamory, or you do, or you did. And that's part of the issue in some way, because it hasn't created an agreement. It's created some sort of blame and shame on one person. Because a goat sent into the wilderness after the Jewish priest had symbolically laid the sins of the Jewish people. So it's like you're being criticized heavily for your sins. And you're like, okay, I've hung myself on this cross long enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being the bad guy, the bad girl. I want fairness, equality, and respect. And I do see all that has happened here. But I also see who I am. And I'm not going back to any sort of anything that's going to limit me from being liberated and being who I am. That's beautiful. I am going to read something from this book of Tao, and this poem or this verse thing is called Compassion. The Tao is by nature immaterial, yet all the world calls it great. It is because the Tao does not put on appearances that is great. When a person puts on a show, trying to appear great, their mediocrity is soon exposed. The Tao has 3 treasures, which the wise guard and cherish. The first is compassion. The second is economy. The third is humility. If you are compassionate, you can be truly courageous. If you are economical, you can be truly generous. If you are humble, you can be truly helpful. If you are brave but lack compassion, are generous but lack economy, and try to help others but lack humility, you've lost the way. Compassion leads to victory in battle and safety in defense. Fortune blesses the compassionate. That was beautiful. That's what I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, everything is linked below. Also, a book that I wrote, Scorpio Diaries, about my healing, spiritual journey, and my own mental health struggles, psychosis that I went through. That is available on Amazon, linked below. Please leave a comment. Let me know how this resonated. And I truly hope to see you again next time. Thank you. Bye.